Hey there, sisters. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Lauren Walsh, and this is the Art of Leading a Women's Circle training. And this is the second time I've done this training. The first time we did it, we had 3,000 women turn out, and that made me inspired to add a little bit more. So this is how to lead a women's circle training, plus how to embody your feminine power so that you can heal, awaken, and inspire within a circle. And so we'll be going over some facilitation tips, and I'll be giving you my best resources for really moving beyond limitations of the mind and insecurities and all of that to really embrace your true feminine essence so that you can share the gifts that you're here to share. So with that, this will be about an hour and 15 minutes, and I invite you to close all browsers and anything that might distract you, Facebook, Instagram, your phone, and find a sacred spot, a quiet spot for you to be a part of this training. I'm going to share with you everything I've learned through years of helping women lead women's circles and leading my own. And I want this to be an experience where you can absorb this information through your heart and not as much through your mind, because I really want you to embody this, make it your own, and go out and live the next chapter of your service, what's calling you forth. And I really believe that if you've said yes to this training or you're attracted to global sisterhood in any way, then you are the type of woman who feels a call in her heart to give something more of herself, to help others heal, to help others awaken, to inspire, to use your gifts to do good. And that is exactly the type of woman that is going to benefit from this work. And even if you're not quite sure how to do that, or you've been on a certain path and you're curious if circles are the next step for you, you're in the right place. And I want you to receive so much out of this training that, again, I'm going to ask you to take away distractions and be here with me, and let's be here together for this next hour and 15 minutes. All right. So to begin, I'm going to do something that I do anytime I facilitate a circle to help settle the energy. I'm going to ask us to close our eyes. And let's take a few deep breaths. And let's feel the earth below us. Feel ourselves sinking in to the earth. And then let's go ahead like we're taking a big, deep sip of water. Let's breathe in the energy of the earth into our hearts. Maybe sitting up a little taller and feeling the energy of Mother Earth inside of us. And we begin to breathe through our heart space. So in and out our heart space. And we honor our heart for calling us, for bringing us here, and for inspiring us to move into the next phase of our life, our next phase of service and empowerment. And I want to invite you to courageously follow the call in your heart. Even if the call scares you, follow it, trust it. Trust it to transform your life, and trust it to lead you to helping others transform as well. And so acknowledging your intention, your very beautiful, honest, and powerful intention for being here, let us open our eyes and let us begin. So in this training today, we'll go over the essential keys and components to what it takes structurally to lead a women's circle so that it's safe, inspiring, and transformative. And then also we'll go through the components of how to really embody our feminine power and our healing power and our magic in such a way that we can help others awaken and heal as well. And so we're going to talk a little bit about myself first, global sisterhood, and the history of women's circles. And then we'll go into our presentation. And then afterwards, I'm going to help you along your path and give you some next step options for you. All right. Okay, so again, my name is Lauren Elizabeth Walsh, and I'm the founder of Global Sisterhood. I live in Texas. I'm 33 years old, and when I was 21 years old, I had a complete shift of my life. Growing up, I experienced a lot of abuse. There was abusive things happening in my family. There was a lot of abusive things around me, and therefore I had a very severe lack of self-worth, which led to relationship issues with women and relationship issues with men, led me to abusive relationships where my body and my soul and my heart were deeply hurt, and also where I hurt myself, I betrayed myself and began to perpetuate suffering for myself and create situations for myself that were drama-filled and painful. And at the age of 21, I was in an abusive situation and I had hit rock bottom. And I called out to the universe. I made my first real prayer to the universe and asking for help. And the universe responded with an invitation for me to escape that life I was living and go live in the Amazon rainforest. And when I was in the Amazon rainforest, everything changed. I was with people who were outside of the paradigm of this fast-paced, modern, patriarchal society that's go, 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 produce, produce, produce. You have to be this, you have to be this, you have to be this in order to be loved and in order to be successful. All of that didn't exist there. All that was there was myself, my soul, my heart, and these people of the forest. And I could see in the way they looked at me, I could see that they could see I was broken. And I could see that they understood that the illusion that had tainted me. And with so much love and compassion that I felt from them, I was able to really look at myself and see that it was all tangled up, that I had actually helped create this mess in my life, and that this core wound that I didn't create, that was given to me, was my responsibility to heal, and that I could heal it. I could transform my life. And so I had my first awakening with that awareness. My awakening wasn't like, oh, I'm fully healed. I'm connected to the universe. Everything's great. I can manifest. Yeah. It was different. It was, ow, but I feel hope. And in that hope, I heard a call. I heard a call to do whatever I needed to do to transform myself, heal myself, but also to take all of that stuff I had experienced my entire life of feeling horrible about myself, all the pain, all the things I had done wrong, all of that, and transmute it into something that I could give and help others with. So help others who had gone through the similar things as me. And so I go back to the United States, and I began to change my life. I let go of old relationships. I devoted myself to a new way. I studied with teachers. I studied with healers. Eventually, I became trained in different modalities. And what I realized, and quickly realized, I wasn't even trained in modalities at this point, but as soon as I started making a little bit of progress in my self-development, I started noticing that I was attracting people into my life that were on a self-development path too. Women, sisters, real sisters for the first time in my life, women that had my back, women that would hold me and embrace me with all the shadowy stuff that was inside of me, stuff that I hadn't learned how to love yet. And they'd be like, yeah, I have that too. I get it. Or women who, when I would feel really good and confident and I was expanding myself and stepping into a new arena, they wouldn't try to be jealous of me. They wouldn't try to knock me down. They would lift me up. So in this, I experienced the transformative power of sisterhood, and I started leading women's circles, and I started leading workshops, and I had more confidence to put myself out there. And as I started sharing myself, I started noticing that I didn't have to be an expert. I didn't have to be perfect, but my journey in itself, where I was and its imperfectness, was exactly what people needed to hear. I began to help and inspire others simply by being myself, simply by sharing the truth of who I am and what I'm going through. And this was so incredibly healing and empowering for me. And so 7 years after that journey, I was so moved that my life was so different and I had different relationships, and I was being of service, and I just wanted to be of more service because I felt the impact of being in service, the benefit in my own life, the benefit in others, but I also saw and felt the sadness of the world with the division that we live in, and the jealousy and the competition and the greed and the oppression and injustice and the imbalance between masculine and feminine specifically. I felt that I had this sight that many women have, and many women have spoken about, many wise women have spoken about, the age of the feminine, the time of the feminine really rising to restore our power, to heal ourselves from the cultural programming, the patriarchal patterning that somehow we're less than, somehow we're not good enough, that our intuition, all of our emotions, all of that doesn't mean anything, and actually reclaim that as a source of our wisdom and power. And I saw the need for this. And so I was given this opportunity to make a call out to the world. So I created a video, and this video was inviting women to gather in circle all over the world on International Women's Day 2016 and gather your sisters together to heal and to really reclaim our power so we can help birth a new world. And launched this video. This video went viral. It was crazy. It was the biggest experience of my life at that point. It had, over 1 million views, and women began heeding the call. They were like, okay, I've never led a women's circle before, but I'm doing this. This is right. And so they used our resources, and they gathered women in their community, and they did it. And they led their very first circle, and they experienced such transformation that we had an outpouring of response back to us. And we were like, okay, let's grow this thing. Let's keep it going. And so every month we provided more resources, a theme for women to gather around and synchronize around, and tools for women to heal themselves. And it grew and grew and grew. And that's how the Global Sisterhood was born. This movement, this modern movement was born. However, I did not start this movement. This movement is not started by Global Sisterhood. This movement is ancient. Women's circles have been around since the dawn of time. For thousands and thousands of years, women gathered in circle and shared their truth. They sat in equality and they spoke their visions. They spoke about the dreams and the things they were feeling in their community. They mourned together. They prayed together. They decided how to help guide their community for health and abundance and unity. And when the times shifted and the patriarchy began to rise, the wise women that would gather and this feminine essence became a threat to production and structure, and few on top and all the rest on bottom. And so we get a period where we have like a 500-year period where women were persecuted, and they were burned at the stake as witches, and these circles were taboo and unfashionable, and it became something that women were to avoid, otherwise it was dangerous. And then in the 19th century, we have the uprising of the suffragette movement and then the feminist movement. And then we start to see circles reemerge as a form of healing, a modality that helped women heal and to be invigorated and empowered. And I really want to give a shout out to the baby boomer generation, because you really helped build that movement to the degree that it is today. And Global Sisterhood was the first time that we took technology and we said, okay, we're not going to gather in silos. We're going to gather together. We're going to gather together in a movement that's larger than ourselves. We're going to do our individual work. We're going to do our work in circles, and we're all going to be doing that work together so that we can be unified as a global sisterhood, and we can create the world we want to create. And so with that, so many women have healed and transformed in circles. It has completely transformed my life and my understanding of women, and my understanding of myself, and my understanding of the world. And so it is a great honor today to teach you these tools so that you can be initiated into this sacred art and practice and have your life transform as well. So with that, let's get started.